so my name's Lee. I'm from VicHealth. VicHealth is a health promotion foundation. So we exist to prevent chronic illness, basically. And the way that we do that is by focusing on 5 key areas. So physical activity is one of those areas, healthy eating, reducing the harm from alcohol, quitting smoking, and then also mental well-being is another key area that we work in. So we, as a health promotion foundation, have a whole range of different projects that we work across the whole state of Victoria. And the focus is, I suppose, on trying to support community groups and community organisations to improve the health of Victorians. Speaking on the grants topic, we actually have a grant program which is available for community clubs, and it's our active club grants, which it happens twice a year. So we've just closed our last one, which was in February, and the next one opens up in August. This particular grant program it's a really simple grant process. Basically, all you need to do is get some quotes for some equipment that the club might actually require, and it's about a 15-minute process of being able to fill out online an application form. You can get grants up to $3,000, or for bigger clubs, it can be up to $10,000. So this happens twice a year, and it's a fairly simple process to go through. When we're talking about health through sport, we really recognise the benefits of physical activity for everybody. We know that it gets our heart pumping and it makes us feel better, but we actually recognise the broader aspects of participating in sport. We recognise that there are some really big mental wellbeing issues, connection to country, to community, to being able to connect with, I suppose, friends and family in the sporting context are really valuable aspects to participation in sport. And so when we're talking about physical activity, we actually encourage people to think about those types of initiatives. We also know that the sporting environment is a really great way to send a health message out. So we have programs where we encourage sporting clubs to promote the drinking of water over sugar-sweetened beverages, or we have smoke-free kind of activities, and looking at ways that we can reduce alcohol within in sporting clubs as well. So sporting clubs are a great way to spread that message around health in a broader context. So sport's great in terms of the value that it can provide for community, and VicHealth are really keen to support that in terms of its work that we do.
I sit here.
Hi, my name's Karen Pearce. I'm the Manager of Strategic Operations at Basketball Victoria. I have been there for 15 years, so I have seen a lot of growth happen. So way back in the early 2000s, when health and sport were two separate entities in themselves. So there was sport, and no one really, we knew health existed and sport was good for you, but there was never the link there with that. So the evolution of that has gone on. We dabbled in the inclusion space back in about 2002, and then started to work in lots of these community areas, but weren't really hitting it as full on as we needed to. We ended up with some significant funding from VicHealth around 2007, and we started to kick off the disability space, and from there we've gone into now having some funding that will put us into Aboriginal and African communities, but I'll go through that in a minute. So talking about health through basketball, we know statistically it shows us that physical activity is good for your health, and being inactive is really bad for lots of different reasons, particularly going into the chronic diseases, the justice system, all of those sorts of things. Currently, we've just finished a specific Aboriginal state team program that was funded through Sport and Rec with the ASRP that Shane just spoke about, and that was the 4 Aboriginal state teams that we did with VAXEL that June spoke about early on in the day. That was actually put together to try and fast-track these kids through our system because they weren't getting up through the ranks as quick as we would like them to for different reasons. So that's going to be an ongoing program. No, back again. The new funding that I just spoke about, the new SRV funding, is specifically targeted at the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders and African communities. So Gippsland is one of our targeted areas. And our 4 key strategic priorities in that program itself is to make communities that are healthier, safer, skilled and sustainable. So the healthier basketball communities is all through, and we're not just working with community, we want to do that link with our basketball associations. That's extremely important for us and for sport and for the individuals involved themselves. So it's working to support cultural diversity, to teach all this with our associations as well. All those workshops that we've been doing today and talking about how there's that disconnect, we want to actually bridge that gap. Build relationships, produce young leaders, improve that connectivity and do all that through education and guidance with everybody. The safer ones are equipping our associations to work with all you guys and supporting through those different campaigns, particularly for you with the Aboriginal campaigns, and there's separate ones as well. Some of them are linked with the African communities. Skilled communities is resources, flexible local-based needs programs that we know sometimes, again, we've talked about it today, that kids aren't ready to step straight into mainstream at the moment. So if we have to do segregated programs, we'll do that. We'll integrate where we can. Training programs to increase capacity and partnerships are very important for everybody. And then obviously the sustainability of it all. So preventative actions to get rid of all those issues, reduce those barriers, break them all down. Case studies, they do work. Programs you can take from one area to another and prove how they work. Participation across all levels, so not just our players, but our coaches, referees, administrators, volunteers. As I said, the continued development of the Aboriginal state teams, talent identification, and previous Gippsland programs that we've done in conjunction with Gippsport a number of years ago. I want to take that, replicate that into other areas and actually continue that again. That was a really good one. And provide that legacy, which is very important. And I think that was all I had. Thank you.
That just made me nervous. Hey, I'm Anthony Hume. I'm the Indigenous Aquatics Officer for Surfing Victoria. I've got another colleague, Geordie Campbell, who's just jumped on board. He can't be here today due to the Ripkill Pro being taken down. Firstly, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional landowners and pay my respects to the elders past and present, and thanks for letting me walk in your land today. I'm just here to sort of yap about the surfing program. It started like probably 17 years ago. It actually started with me. Max Wells was from my town in Newlock, and he just noticed me going off on the rails a little bit, not too much. And he just thought he knew I was passionate about surfing, so he got some grants in place, Safe by the Water, just to promote Indigenous water safety due to a couple of drownings. And from there, I've built up surf coaching, and the program's grown from that, and to today where we've got an average of 800 plus participants annually. We run programs from actual leadership camps to come try days. We have the 3 state events. We have the East Gippsland regional event. We have the Southwest regional Gippsland, Southwest Victoria, and then we've got the main state championship, which actually whoever wins that actually gets crowned state champion. Some of them have actually never been surfing before, so that's a big confidence boost for them. And we actually we nurture a lot of our youth through our development programs to further their life skills. So if there's any opportunity for them to actually fall into a traineeship outside of surfing, we've actually nurtured traineeships in retail and other sports outside of surfing. So that's where we lead. And by the looks of it now, we're actually happy to invite any other sports to our programs to actually promote. So there you go.
Thanks, Anthony. My name's Gene Perini. I'm one of the Gippslandians. I've met quite a few of you already today. My able assistant, Dave Roberts, has forgotten, but he's going to give you a handout. It's just a one-pager which I wanted to talk to, and also you can take it away because it's got our contact details. In a nutshell, I work in the South Gippsland region, and we've got a program coordinator in all the councils across Gippsland. We've got Ryan Evans, who I think a few of you would have met already today, which is out in the Wellington Shire and around East Gippsland. And we're currently recruiting for someone in the Latrobe Orbour region. But in a nutshell, I wanted to talk to you today about, we're funded by VicHealth, thank you Leanne, to roll out a program called the Regional Sport Program. And a big part of it, as the flyer here says, it's to, we're funded until 2018. And Barry did steal my thunder a little bit at the beginning, but he explained it in a really clear way. What we're seeing out there as far as sport participation is that there's actually a decline in people participating in competitive sport. So like Barry explained it, training twice a week, playing on the weekend, it's actually either some sports are maintaining it, but a lot of it's dropping. People are accessing their sport and recreation when they want to actually access it. So emerging sports like surfing are actually becoming much more popular because you can grab your board when you want, when the conditions are right. This is just, no, it's good. And so what all the sports are doing, or most of them, and we've got a few of them in the room today, is thinking of programs which are flexible and allow for social type sport. So I wrote a few on the flyer. Rock Up Netball is basically a social program where people literally rock up once a week, pay potentially $5, play for an hour or train and then go home. They're not committed to the team, if they can't make it because their children are sick or they're busy at work, they just don't turn up. 3v3 basketball is probably one that could be explored further in the future. Fastball tennis, surfing, stand-up paddleboarding. Now Surfing Vic have taken that on and really tried to focus on women and getting women out on stand-up paddleboards. So all the sports are out there, and they've created these programs. And I guess Gippsport's role is to connect the sports and the community to some programs. So our job is to find who these people are out there, and I guess Dave and Lisa invited me today to, invite if the community out there, the Aboriginal community, wants to potentially create something for themselves. That could be an option where you work with us, and it could be, you know what, we're interested in stand-up paddleboarding. We're at Lakes Entrance. We've actually got the beach there to run something like that, so we would work to try and facilitate that. It could be something that you participate in, which is across the board mainstream. But there is that capacity to look at doing it just for individual communities if that's what the community wants. So I think that explains it. And again, it's trying to be kept at low cost, and where it's not necessarily that full commitment, which a lot of people can't do. And probably the last thing is, it's not just for children. A lot of people think about sport, and it is about the young ones, and I know we're all about our children and their futures, but it's about adults as well. Everyone needs to be active, and the benefits of sport that we've spoken about is important for all of us. So it's open to all ages. Thank you. Yep, we can have a chat later, and whether it's me or it could be Ryan, who's a bit closer than me, to start having those conversations and just, like Lisa said, there's no bad idea. It's about throwing some ideas and going, right, what can work here? You know, what's going to make it, work so we can keep doing it. We ran a stand-up paddleboard session, and Surfing Vic came out, Anthony's colleagues, and Bass, which is near Grantville. We're talking a really small community, and we had 30 women register to come and do it for the very first time. We got a terrible day. It was a howling westerly, so we had to change it. So, but we still had 18 show up, and then we ran a subsequent one. It was a beautiful day at Coronet Bay, and we had 20 in a really small community, and it came down to the women telling us what they want. They said, we want to do stand-up paddleboard, we think it's really cool, we'll be able to go at a match. Then Surfing Vic have done the research, and it's a sport that women are really keen to be active in. So it's just matching all those things, and then just dropping a few things.
On that note, with Surfing Vic, like if we go to a community, we have not one person rock up, we'll still come back later on and try again a different way. Where we don't look at it as they're not going to rock up, don't bother. We actually, if we have to communicate and gain, confidence from that community, it'll take us 5 years, we'll do that. So that's sort of what you've got to do as well. So, yeah. So with that, what we've done is through Cape Cod, and we're slowly moving our way back, and hopefully we'll probably target mostly probably the Bass Coast, because it's probably the next easiest and best venue for it. We're going to try to do more of a development program in the Bass Coast area instead of an event. So, just work out that way and then grow from that. So, it helps because VicHealth have supported it and made it a bit easier, and they understand that. So, which is good.
We don't have a specific Aboriginal section, but we do have a health equity section, which is the area that I work within. And so that's an area where we're looking at making sure that those people who are experiencing most disadvantage in different population groups get access to the programs that we run across VicHealth. In terms of a specific focus on Aboriginal funding and the like, we're currently, late last year we started a consultation program across the state of Victoria to start talking to different communities and finding out what some of the issues are and how we might be able to support that. Where that has pretty much landed is we're currently in the throes of having conversation about a kind of a redevelopment of the old VESA. So there was recognition that there was a lack of governance at a statewide level. How do we support the carnival system in a long-term, ongoing fashion? So VicHealth are really committed to advancing Aboriginal sport and Aboriginal health, and this is one of the ways that we're looking at doing things. So I would love to talk to more people. We're certainly trying to communicate with as many people from different communities as possible. So I've got some business cards, come and have a chat to me, and I'd love to include you in as a part of the consultation. And this moving forward with a governance kind of process for Aboriginal sport statewide. So. Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking, we're speaking at the moment to the people with the senior carnivals, but we'll certainly talk to Baxel as well.
Well, do make sure at the end of the day that you